Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hare Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada श्री नाम संकीर्तनम की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर तिरुभाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीं कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण। So today we are reading from 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter number 52, entitled as Rukmini's Message to Lord Krishna. Text number 40 is on the board. 38 to 40 we are reading today. Text 40. Purteshtadatta niyama vrata deva vipra Guru archana dibiralam bhagavan pareshaha Aradito yadi gadagraja etyapanim Grannatu mena damagosha sutadyanye Purteshtadatta niyama vrata deva vipra Guru archana dibiralam bhagavan pareshaha Aradito yadi gadagrajayeta panyam Granatu mena damagosha sutadyanye Purteshtadatta niyama vrata deva vipra Guru archana dibiralam bhagavan pareshaha Aradito yadi gadagrajayetyapanim Grunatu mena damagosha sutadayonye Grunatu mena damagosha sutadyanye Purteshtadatta niyama vrata deva vipra Varchana dibiralam bhagavan pareshaha Aradito yadi gadagraja etyapanim Granatu mena damagosha sutadyanye. Word to word meaning. Purta, by pious works such as feeding brahmanas, digging wells, etc. Ishta, sacrificial performances. Datta, charity. Niyama, ritual observances such as visiting holy places. Vrata, vows of penance. Deva, of the demigods. Vipra, brahmanas. Guru, and spiritual masters. Archana, by worship. Adibi, and by other activities. Alam, sufficiently. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Para, supreme. Isha, controller. Aradhita, render devotional service. Yadi, if. Gada Agraja, Krishna, the elder brother of Gada. Etya, coming here. Panim, the hand. Granato, may please take me, my, na, not, Damagosha Suta, Shishupal, the son of Damagosha, Adaya, and so on, Anye, others. Translation and purport by the dear disciples of His Divine Grace, Abhay Channa Aravinda, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. If I have sufficiently worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the pious works, sacrifices, charity, rituals and vows, and also by worshipping the demigods, brahmanas and the gurus, then may Gadagraja come and take my hand and not Damagosha's son or anyone else. Purport. The Acharya's comment as follows on this verse. Rukmini felt that no one could obtain Lord Krishna by the efforts of a single lifetime. Therefore, she earnestly pointed out the pious activities she had performed in that life and the previous lives, hoping to convince Sri Krishna to come. We are reading the other two verses also, 38 and 39. Katva mukunda mahate kulasila rupa vidya vayodra vinadamabir atmatulyam dhira patim kulavatina vrinita kanya kale nrsimha naraloka mano viramam. Translation. O Mukunda, you are equal only to yourself in lineage, character, beauty, knowledge, youthfulness, wealth and influence. O lion among men, you delight the minds of all mankind. What aristocratic, sober-minded and marriageable girl of a good family would not choose you as her husband when the proper time has come? Text 39. Tanme bhavan kaluvrita patiranga jayam Atmarpitascha bhavatotra vibho videhi ma vira bhagam abhimarshatu chaitya ara gomayuvan mrugapater balimambujaksha. Translation. Therefore, my dear Lord, I have chosen you as my husband and I surrender myself to you. Please come swiftly, O Almighty One, and make me your wife. My dear lotus-eyed Lord, let Shishupal never touch the hero's portion, like a jackal stealing the property of a lion. So this ends. The 40th verse is today's verse. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajiv Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatar Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurati Sena He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Napta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadravyam Jagannathaya Te Namah Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktar. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Seeking the blessings of all the Vaishnavas to speak the Krishna Katha. Today's the chapter going on is for the Rukmini's message to Lord Krishna, and that's going to come to the point of why the Brahmanas actually went there. Because the Brahmana went, in the previous verses we are seeing how the Brahmana was given respect by the Lord, proper reception, how to serve the Brahmanas. Lord Krishna is showing in the previous verses we have seen that how he was massaging the feet, and then he started asking the purpose. So that was the actual custom of how the people should be welcomed in the houses. Earlier times how the people used to respect. Lord Krishna is showing that after giving him proper prasadam, proper rest, place for rest, then he started asking what's the purpose of your arrival. And then we see that the letter is being read by the Brahmana, and then Rukmini Devi is expressing her heart that why I wanted to marry you. And then please come and take me. So in the previous, the 38th and 39th verse we see, O Mukunda, you are equal only to yourself in lineage, character, beauty, knowledge, youthfulness, wealth and influence. O lion among the men, you delight the minds of all mankind. Then what aristocratic, sober-minded and marriageable girl of a good family would not choose you as her husband when the proper time has come? So who will give up you, Krishna? That you are such a wonderful character person, with all good qualities are present in you, Lord. So who is that foolish girl that who will not select you? Right? Every girl who is born maybe in the aristocratic family or sober-minded, marriageable age, then they come, they choose you as a husband. Of course, definitely Krishna is the only Purusha, and everybody is a Prakriti in that sense. To worship the Lord and to have Lord as a husband and worshipable person is a right claim of every jiva. Just like we have completed the Leela of Sharad Purnima, which is the people say that the most kind of controversial thing. And then some great people speaking about also that if we are very shameful to say that we are Hindus because our God has did the Ras Leela with some other woman. This is not knowing the Tattva of the Lord. And the people who don't know the Tattva, they speak all such kind of things. But the devotees, they know that all that belongs to Krishna. Mayadekshena prakriti suyate sa characharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat vipari vartate. Because everything belongs to Krishna only. What we are doing is thievery. Yes, actually it's not that the Lord is doing the thievery, it's we who are doing the thievery from the Lord's property. And then we write down proprietor is I, the proprietor, or such and such person is the proprietor, right? Or somebody becomes an husband or somebody becomes a wife. They claim that my husband or my wife, but everything belongs to Krishna. In that sense, everything comes from the Lord. So when Lord does the Ras Leela, what is the problem? Yes, when he is enjoying with his pure devotees in the spiritual world, and that too it's not on the platform of some karma, it's a pure love. It is not on the platform of exploitation. It's a selfless service. The gopis want to serve the Lord and Lord wants to serve his pure devotees. Yes, so that's a reciprocation which happened, and that is how the Leela of Sharad Purnima, Ras Purnima, which is called as. And of course this month of Kartik which is going on, which is filled with so many of the festivals. So that's how the devotees. Therefore, yesterday Acharya was telling that so many festivals are there for us. Right? This in Sri Rangam, if you see, there are 325 days festivals. How many days we have? 365. When leap year comes, 366 maybe. 325 days they have festivals for Sri Ranganath. And so many festivals they do for Lord Ranganath. It's a festival every day. So at least for us, this 1 month is given, Kartik month, to be exclusively focus on increasing our devotion to Lord Krishna. So many devotees do so many of, they take different kinds of sankalpas so that they can advance in a spiritual life using that opportunity. Right? Because any activities done in the spiritual, in this Kartik month is benefited thousands of times. So devotees take that opportunity to become more Krishna consciousness by using this opportunity of Kartik month. So today is that Leela of, we see how Rukmini Devi is expressing that heart to the Lord. Right? And in the last one, the today's verse which is written here, if I have sufficiently worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead by pious works, sacrifices, charity, rituals and vows, and also by worshipping the demigods, Brahmanas and the Guru, then may Gada Graja may come and take my hand, and not Damagosha's son or anyone else. So here we see that Rukmini Devi is ultimately in the kind of fear that maybe I may not get Krishna. So that's why she is writing in that letter also that, Lord, if my all austerities, vows, charity, rituals which I have done, they are sufficiently satisfied, then please come and rescue me from this. So ultimately she is giving that also. Of course, Acharyas are saying that Rukmini felt that no one could obtain Lord Krishna by the efforts of a single lifetime. Yeah, single lifetime. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, only we can go. That's otherwise it's very difficult in a single lifetime going. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, 16 rounds chanting and don't offend the Vaishnavas. I'll take you back home back to God. It's very difficult not offending Vaishnavas. It maybe seems to be very simple. Only just 2 principles, no? But you see, the day starts and day ends with offending a Vaishnava. ये डिवोटी ऐसे क्यों है, मंगल आरती को किसी कौन गा रहे हैं, आज ठीक से नहीं गाए, ये आरती जो कर रहे हैं वो डिवोटी ठीक से नहीं करे, गौर नहीं था कैसा ड्रेसिंग होता है क्या, भागवतम क्लास कौन दे रहे हैं आज, ये भागवतम क्लास में आज ये वर्ष क्यों आया. It's just, I'm saying about my mind, the consciousness, how it is. Throughout the day we are something or other, the mind starts going somewhere or other. That's why Srila Prabhupada writes, the austerity of the mind is to Saumyatvam, and then the simplicity, Arjavam. So Srila Prabhupada writes, the austerity of the mind is to see welfare of others, think about welfare of others. That is the greatest austerity. In Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, Srila Prabhupada says, the austerity of the mind, about 2 things he says that, repeatedly says that is one thing is detached from the sense gratification. That is how your mind, you can be satisfied in your life. And the second thing is that to think about welfare of others. So difficult. So that's why it is Rukmini Devi and Acharyas are saying that how in one lifetime going is not so easy. Of course, we are not losing the hope. Still we keep continuing because Prabhupada's and Guru's mercy we can go one lifetime also. Srila Prabhupada said that just the desire is separating from going back home, back to Godhead. We simply, sincerely struggle to practice Krishna consciousness with following these principles and try our best, because we see that I was just contemplating on this aspect of how the devotees, great devotees of the Lord, never offend anybody and never hear about any criticism of the devotees, which is so difficult for me. All the time criticism is like going on because of nature of Kali Yuga and the mind, our own mind. So much of criticism I do. I was just wondering when the day will come when the glorification of the devotees will happen throughout the day. It's so difficult. If all of you devotees bless me, then I can be free of these criticisms and glorify the devotees throughout the life. Then there is a hope that in this lifetime, efforts of a single lifetime will come to some fruitfulness. Therefore, she earnestly pointed out the pious activities she had performed in that life and the previous life, hoping to convince Sri Krishna to come. So that's why Rukmini Devi, of course, she is a consort of the Lord. She does not need all these things, but she is showing us through the examples that Lord, if I have done anything pious or anything I have done which is satisfying to you or the Brahmanas, demigods, Guru, please kindly rescue me. This is what I want. So this is, of course, even if we see the Vishnu Pitama section where Vishnu Pitama was leaving the body in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 9th chapter, it comes about when he was leaving the body. So he says to the Pandavas when they come to see him, so he says that you are all very glorious because Vipra Achyuta Ashraya. Vipra Brahm Dharma Achyuta Ashraya. Right? These three things you have done. So there is a great success for you. Satisfying the Brahmanas, followed the Dharma, and you took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if these three things are done, then there is some hope or success. Right? Brahmanas, in our sense, the devotees are pleased. We are following the principles which are given in Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and then we are trying to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of God. So this is what even Vishnu Pitama also says, that how if we do this, then we can conquer the Lord, or we can get the blessings of the Lord. Vipra Dharma Achyuta Ashraya. This is what even Rukmini Devi is also saying, that the satisfaction regarding the Brahmanas, right, regarding the Guru and the demigods. Shri Shintai Gauranga Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Shara Damodar ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, even we see that now the current Damodar month is going on, Damodar Ashtakam we are all singing, beautifully arranged by Satyavata Muni, that what should be the proper mood of prayers and how that should go. First, verses of glorification of the Lord, right? And how the Lord, by your wonderful Leela of this Yashoda Damodar, and especially your wonderful Leela of binding, and you are crying there, and you are making the devotees of Rajvasis to be immersed in that devotion. Iti Drishva Leelabhir Ananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajjantam. Right? You are drowning all the devotees of Rajvasis in this wonderful Leela. Why he is telling that? Then he is telling, this is what I want, my Lord. I don't want any other benedictions. If you see about the benedictions, I don't want anything. Varam Deva Moksham Na Moksha Vadimva Na Cha Anyam. No other benedictions I want. Only your beautiful form as Sri Damodara be manifested in my heart. It's not that something new for you. Already you have done. For Kuvera Atmajo Badda Murtai Vayatvat. Already you delivered Nalakuvera Manigiru. Their sons you have delivered. Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakam Me Prayacha. This is what the same bhakti I also want in my life. And your glory of your Dham and Srimati Radharani. And the glorious, these are all these things. So this is how the Acharyas have set the guidelines, how we should offer proper prayers. Right? And here Rukmini Devi is also telling that how we should be eager to serve the Lord, and we should ask, request prayers from the Lord, that Lord, please rescue me from this material world. Before my mind get distracted or get attracted to the material things, kindly rescue me from this material world. I know that I have committed so many offenses, so many other things I have done, but your hope, your mercy is the only hope for me. So this is what the mood of the prayers we can try to offer it in this month of Damodara, following in the footsteps of Rukmini Devi as well as Satyavata Muni, who is explaining through this the Damodar Ashtakam. And today is also the disappearance day of Shri Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur, because his Leela of disappearance is itself his Samadhi is a Dugdha Samadhi. Right? It is not of normal Samadhi or a kind of Vapu Samadhi. It is a Dugdha Samadhi. The milk of Narottam Das Thakur is leaving the body. His body, whole body got kind of melted, and the disciples got that melted milk and kept a Samadhi. Two places it is there. It is said one is in Keturi Gram and another one is in the Vrindavan. They say part of it they brought to Vrindavan also, in the near the his spiritual master Loknath Goswami's samadhi. Near that, they kept the samadhi of Narottam Das Thakur also, it is said. So we see the great Leela of Narottam Das Thakur, right? And how his prediction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the attempt to go to Vrindavan, right? When he went to the Ram Keli, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the one day during the Kirtan, and he started dancing and he started calling out Narottam, Narottam. And devotees all were thinking that where from and who is the devotee Narottam? And they were searching, nobody is there now. So Nityanand Prabhu after that Kirtan went and asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that who is this devotee? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started explaining about this appearance of Narottam is going to happen. And through him I am going to reach Krishna consciousness after my completing the Leelas in this world and going back. Narottam will be the instrument in spreading the Krishna consciousness. And the whole love of Krishna Prema has been invested or given to him. We see that how in that Keturi Gram, when he went in the Padma river, Padma is a part of Ganges, Ganga. When it goes through Bangladesh, it is called as Padma river. Right there, I think Farakka Dam, it gets a diversion. One part goes to Bangladesh and another part comes to the Bengal and to the Bay of Bengal. It goes. So this river, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into the Padma river, right? And then the Padma river was in ecstasy, in the sense the water stopped flowing. Just like when Krishna starts playing the flute, the water stops. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into that waters of Padma river. The water stopped flowing, and the whole, because it is not going ahead, the behind it was becoming flooded, and all the villagers were thinking that what happened? No rain, nothing was there, but the river, the villages are getting flooded. What has happened? So they came to see this wonderful kirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that was the time where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into the waters of Padma river and gave that, kept that whole Krishna Prema given to the Padma, goddess Padma, so the river which has came. And he told her that when Narottam comes here, you should deliver this Krishna Prema to him. So then she asked the question that how could I recognize? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that just like I entered, you are in ecstasy. As soon as Narottam enters into your water, your river, again the river will be overflooded. That time you understand that this is the personality Narottam. So you give this Krishna Prema to him. So then she kept it with herself. And then we see that after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, right, the end part of the pastimes are getting over, and then Narottam Das Thakur took his birth. In this Keturi Gram, his father was a very big Jamindar, Krishnananda Datta, right, and his mother was Narayani Devi. And they were very great devotees of the Lord. He had a Shaligram Shila also, which he used to worship, Krishnananda Datta. And the appearance of Narottam Das Thakur happened, right? And then we see that how the first grain eating ceremony the children do, right? Narottam Das Thakur, everything, so much of arrangement was done, everything was arranged so wonderfully because he was a Jamindar. So many Brahmanas came to see the event, and so many villagers, everybody came to see this event. So when it was coming to the kind of a climax, that now is the time where the grain has to be given to Narottam, which is considered to be a very auspicious moment. But the most inauspicious happened that the child is not eating the grains. And everybody was worried that auspicious time has came and the child is not accepting the grains. So everybody was confused, and his father was being really tensed up. What is this? The child is not taking the grains. So that's the time in the assembly, one of the devotee, Vaishnava, right, he understood, he was a very great astrologer. With his science, he understood that Narottam does not eat anything which is not offered to Lord. So then he went and told his father that he is not going to accept anything which is not offered to Krishna. So then immediately Krishnananda Datta, his father, went, offered that grains to Shaligram Shila and got back. And it is just as soon as it given to Narottam, he ate everything, all that katori of it, everything he ate it up. Smilingly ate everything. So everybody started understanding, and that day onwards the law was made that nothing should be given to Narottam without offering to Krishna. So that is how his childhood days have been started of Narottam. Because of course there's a prediction of the Lord himself. And then we see that he was not at all interested in any of the material things. Right? 6 years of the age itself, he was very learned. Whatever was being taught to him, he was learning very fast. Right? And when the age of 12 years came, and slowly started developing renunciation. Because he had association of one of the Vaishnava in that village, in that kingdom. He used to go every day and hear from him about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's and Nityanand Prabhu's Leela. And he was getting renunciation, and his father and mother got very much upset. Yes, because the child becomes renunciate, the father and mother becomes very upset. All the devotees have this experience. And devotees, when they become ISKCON, Krishna conscious devotee, means immediately father and mother become alarmed. So Narottam Das Thakur, it's our Guru Parampara, don't worry. So Narottam Das Thakur also, when he was getting Vairagya, more and more Vairagya he was exhibiting. So father and mother became very upset, and they started thinking that let's get him married. Right? If we get him married, then he will be peacefully in the home. So Narottam Das Thakur was getting the signs, and then that day night he slept in a dream, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and said, and sir, I think Nityanand Prabhu came and said to him that go to the Padma river. There the Lord's mercy, Krishna Prema is invested there. Go there to that river. So he got up early morning and he left without telling anybody. And by this time, father and mother were really upset that they were keeping the guards and also that Narottam Das Thakur will not run away from the home. And next day morning, they got up and saw that he is not there. Right. So they sent all the people, and by this time, Narottam Das Thakur went to that Padma river and he entered into that river, and the river started flooding. So that was the time where then the goddess came and she gave the Krishna Prema to him. And that was the time where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came and embraced Narottam Das Thakur. And actually his color was little like a dark complexion. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him, it has become the golden complexion. And his color also got changed. And he sat on the side of the river, Padma river, and he started crying that what is being given to me, although I am useless person. And the guards were also in search. And finally they came to the river Padma and they found Narottam, but his color was completely changed. Some or other they consoled him and took him back to the kingdom, but he was not at all ready. So one day, because his glories was being spreading, that how is such a Krishna conscious devotee, and then Krishna Prema was given to him, and all that the glories were being spreading. So one of the kings who were in that province, he wanted to have the association of Narottam Das Thakur. So he called Narottam Das Thakur in a palanquin. His father was saying, no, because in between he may run away, because already the signs were showing that he is going to go one day. So the king was again and again trying. So finally one day agreed, and then he was being taken in a palanquin. So Narottam Das Thakur thought that this is the best time I can escape from it. So in that whole, the party of palanquin, everybody were going, observed in that Narottam Das Thakur somehow escaped from that place. And then he took the route to go to Vrindavan Dham. So, and the way he was walking, it is said that 2-3 days, no food. Right? And on the way he was walking like that. And after some time he felt so sick that one day he slept and he was not able to get up. Right? And it is said that a Brahmana came, right, who was the Lord himself came and got him a cup of milk. But then he was about to drink that milk, he kept it aside and then he fall asleep. Sometimes it happens when we are very tired, we keep something for drinking and we forget. Next day morning we got up and see, I did not drink the milk only because of too tired. So Narottam Das Thakur also went into that ecstasy of, he felt asleep. And the dream Rupa and Sanatan came and said that Narottam, get up, you have to drink that milk. And who has given that milk? That milk is given directly by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have to drink that milk, get energy, come to Vrindavan. We are waiting. We have to teach all the teachings, whatever been given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have to read everything and you have to preach Krishna consciousness. So get up and drink the milk. So Narottam Das Thakur got up from the dream and immediately took that milk and drank it. And he got full energy and he started again going back to Sri Vrindavan. So we see that how, of course, by that time, Rup, Sanatan, everybody left. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already left. About Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaving, he heard already from his guru there in Keturi only. Srinivas Acharya, he heard about him. That how Srinivas Acharya was such a great soul. And then he went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But as soon as he went into the outskirts of Jagannath Puri, he heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaving the planet. He felt so pained in the heart that Srinivas Acharya wanted to give up his body, his life. So that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the dream and told, don't worry, go to Gadadhar Pandit, he is there to teach you Bhagavatam. But by the time he went to Gadadhar Pandit to learn Bhagavatam, we all know that past time the Gadadhar Pandit told that this Bhagavatam ink has been gone. Because so much in ecstasy they used to read that there is no ink left. And so go to Bengal and get one Bhagavatam, then I can teach you. So Srinivas Acharya, you see, all the way from Jagannath Puri again came to West Bengal. Again he started going back to Jagannath Puri, but by the time he reached Puri, he heard that Gadadhar Pandit also has left. And of course Srinivas Acharya's life was more. And then he went to Vrindavan to meet Rup Sanatan. By that time Rup Sanatan also left. So Srinivas Acharya, he heard all about Srinivas Acharya. Narottam Das Thakur was hearing about all these things. Right? And then we see that when he went to Vrindavan under the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu and accepting the spiritual master as Loknath Goswami. And can you imagine the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Narottam Das Thakur is going to take birth and he is going to spread? Every Vaishnava was completely waiting for meeting Narottam Das Thakur. And as soon as he went to Mathura, he took darshan of Janmasthan of Lord Krishna. Right? And then from there, one of the Vaishnava guided him to go to Sri Vrindavan. Right? And finally Narottam Das Thakur reached the Vrindavan. And everybody was so awaiting for that moment to meet Narottam Das Thakur. And if I'm not wrong, somebody got him to Loknath Goswami. Is it Nityanand Prabhu who came or somebody came? Right? And he directed and got him to the Radha Vinod temple, that is the worshipable deities of Loknath Goswami. And then Narottam Das Thakur got the first darshan of his spiritual master Loknath Goswami, which was the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that accept Loknath Goswami as spiritual master. And before the night only, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the dream of Loknath and said that tomorrow Narottam is going to come and you accept him as disciple. But still Loknath Goswami was feeling that I am not qualified. And he would not wanted to make any disciples. And we see that how Narottam Das Thakur exemplified the ideality of a disciple. Guru was not accepting and he was a prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He never felt in the heart that I am such a great soul. Already Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I am only the preacher. Anyways, Guru gives or not, that doesn't matter to me. He never felt. And he comes from such an aristocratic family. And till that time, Loknath Goswami was not accepting. Narottam Das Thakur was menially serving. And such a meniality of service. In Vrindavan Dham, that time, right, there was a forest. Loknath Goswami used to go for his morning duties. Narottam Das Thakur used to clean the place. Height of a disciple's service to the spiritual master. Right? In Kali Yuga, we cannot expect so much, right? Even the spiritual master gives small instructions here and there, we feel so disturbed. Shall I clarify again the spiritual master? Does he exactly want this only? Or what I want to do, let's clarify with it. Right? So, but the Narottam Das Thakur's glory, right, was that he was ready to do that kind of menial service. Till that time, Loknath Goswami was ready to accept it. So he was daily going and doing that service. Right? Such a menial service he was doing. Till that time, Loknath Goswami recognized that why this place is so clean. And generally, that place where we go for a morning duty is not so clean. But that place was so clean. So Loknath Goswami was feeling that why this place is so. He got up earlier before Narottam Das Thakur. That day he got up at 12:30, 1 o'clock and he was waiting. What's happening? Let's see. And he was saying that Narottam Das Thakur was coming with such humility, with such devotion he was doing that service. And Loknath Goswami immediately come out of behind the tree and he started saying, Narottam, what you are doing? What is this? You are such a great soul. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly predicted about you. And you come from such an aristocratic family and what you are doing this? And that's how Loknath Goswami was a great soul. He was obliged to give initiation to Narottam Das Thakur by seeing his humility, by seeing his devotion which he had. And he has empowered Narottam Das Thakur and initiated him in this Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. And you see that after that, Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamanand Prabhu and Srinivasa Acharya had got training under Jiva Goswami. And we can imagine who was the teacher. Teacher was himself a brilliant person. Jiva Goswami himself was such a great soul. And down the line, Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamanand Prabhu and Srinivasa Acharya, all the three of them got the training under the Jiva Goswami. And we see that how after the training got over and the training life itself was so exemplary. Three of them with three different gurus, disciples, but all of them were having the same goal of pleasing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then after that, they were going with the books as Jana Mata wanted, the books in Bengal. So they're taking all that most worthy or the great books of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and they were carrying all the way from Vrindavan to Navadvip Dham or to the Bengal. And in between, we all know that Birambir's astrologer prediction, and then the Bangkuda, the place, he took away all that books, and then Srinivasa Acharya, after that he made him the disciple and he got back the books. And by this time, Narottam Das Thakur, there we all know that Narottam Das Thakur came back to Keturi or the Bangladesh for preaching. And by this time, Santosh, his brother, has become the king. And then Narottam Das Thakur started the second part of life, that is preaching Krishna consciousness. Because all the way, even before that, Narottam Das Thakur, once before going to Vrindavan, I think, he came from Vrindavan and he went to Jagannath Puri. Navadvip he went first. He met all the great souls there. Jana Mata was also there. He came to Karda. Right? He met Jana Mata there. They all blessed him. Right? And then on the way, he went to Jagannath Puri. And in Jagannath Puri also, all the devotees welcomed and they were waiting to meet Narottam Das Thakur. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said and went, and they were waiting when that Narottam will come. When Narottam Das Thakur went, all the places were being taken. The tour was being taken to all the Jagannath Puri and where the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed place. He stayed in the house of Gopinath Acharya. When Gopinath Acharya took a tour of all the places, and when he slept one day, he got the darshan of the Rath Yatra. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu and all Shivanand Sen, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Gadadhar Pandit, Advaita Acharya, everybody were dancing in that great ecstasy in that Rath Yatra. So Narottam Das Thakur got the dream and he was seeing that he was also there in that, he was observing the whole event of Rath Yatra in the dream. And Narottam Das Thakur in the dream took the dust of all the great souls and blessings. And everybody gave blessings and said one thing, go to Bengal and preach. That was the same instruction he got through all that Vaishnavas, that go to Bengal and preach Krishna consciousness. So then he got up from the dream and he was feeling so pained that, wow, I am so sinful that I was not taken birth when all these great souls were there. He was crying, but then he thought that I should follow the instructions. That all of them wanted to go back to Bengal and preach. And even when he got to meet Janai Mata also, she was also said that go to Bengal and preach. And of course, he was in Bengal. So in Bengal preaching. So Narottam Das Thakur went back to Keturi. And then we see that how the pastime of Narottam Das Thakur's preaching mission is, of course, he was being assisted by the Srinivasa Acharya's disciple, Ramchandra Kaviraj, who is a very great friend or a dear devotee, closest associate of Narottam Das Thakur. That's why we see Janilo Premadana, he sings at the church, Ramachandra Sangha Mange Narottama Das. And then we see that how Ramchandra Kaviraj and Narottam Das Thakur's preaching started. You can imagine the stalwart preachers going for preaching in Bengal. And that's how their conversion was also not the small people, big people they were converted. The Chandra Rai, who was the greatest dacoit that time in the Bengal. And he had so many followers all over the Bengal. And every year, they all used to come, all the dacoits used to come, they used to have a meeting. And Chandra Rai was the main dacoit king kind of thing. And he used to tell कैसे लोगों को मारना चाहिए, कैसे लूटना चाहिए, सब training होता था उन लोगों का. Right. And this Chandra Rai became a devotee of Lord Krishna by the blessings of Narottam Das Thakur, and he accepted Narottam Das Thakur as his spiritual master. When he got transformed, right, and all the dacoits, as usual, they came after 1 year to meet Chandra Rai, and they were asking, where is Chandra Rai? And everybody started saying, he is near the temple, and everybody confused. Why he went to the temple? कुछ लूटने के लिए गए क्या? And they all came near the temple and they were waiting behind that where he is, what he may be doing. And they were seeing that everybody were doing the kirtan. And in between their guru, Chandra Rai was also dancing in ecstasy. And they got confused. What happened? And after the kirtan, glorious kirtan got over, the Narottam Das Thakur and all the disciples, Chandra Rai also came out. And then he saw that his disciples, his dacoit disciples were waiting. And he gave the first Bhagavatam class to them. And he said that how give up all the sinful activities and become devotees of Lord Krishna. Take the initiation from my Guru Narottam Das Thakur, become great devotees. And all of them got transformed. And they become great devotees of Narottam Das Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after it. So that was the preaching of Narottam Das Thakur. Right? You can imagine what dacoits and all become the great devotees by the blessings of Narottam. And we all know that how the Ganga Narayan Chakravarti preaching it happened, and in that lineage only we get Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the great soul. After that, Baldev Vidya Bhushan and all. So all that is by the glories of Narottam Das Thakur. How he used to preach, right? By his association, he converted so many people. And then when everybody were in the Keturi Gram, there was a news spread that how Narottam Das Thakur, who is come from a low class family and is initiating the Brahmanas. When Ganga Narayan Chakravarti got initiation from Narottam Das Thakur, there was a great, sensation, sensational movies, sensation it was. Because Ganga Narayan Chakravarti was a great Brahmana. So many Brahmanas were taking shelter, and now Brahmana has become a Vaishnava, and that too taking the initiation from Narottam Das Thakur. And all the Brahmanas became so angry, and they went and complained to the king. His king name was Narsimha. He said that come to Keturi and then punish this Narottam. He is trying to initiate the Brahmanas also and then make them Vaishnavas, low class Vaishnavas, like that they said. So Narsimha, he took the help of Rup Kaviraj and coming. Rup Kaviraj was the Diggaj, that time 𝐕𝐻𝐽, who went to Rupa Goswami also, and where Jiva Goswami defeated him, he still not became a devotee. Right? He was still having that kind of scholarship. And now Narsimha, this king, who told that 𝐕𝐻𝐽, Rupa Kaviraj to come, let's debate with Narottam Das Thakur. All the Brahmanas wanted to kill him, telling that king that please kill this personality because he is spreading the Apasampradaya everywhere. Then they said that why to kill? First let's have a debate, defeat him, and then we will think about it. So then they said that okay, let's go. And then they were taking this Rup Kaviraj and were going. And the news came to the disciples of Narottam Das Thakur, Ramchandra Kaviraj and Ganga Narayan Chakravarti. And both of them thought, why these useless people are coming and disturbing our Guru Narottam Das Thakur? He is absorbed in great devotion to Lord Krishna. Before they come only, let's do the debate. So they went and disguised themselves, one as a clay merchant spot seller and another one as a betel nut seller. Right? So both of them sat just entrance of the village, and then this whole entourage of Narsimha, the king, and with us all Rup Kaviraj and all the Brahmanas were feeling so pride. Today we will defeat Narottam Das Thakur and then we will establish the Brahmanas is so great, highest. As soon as they entered into the village, somehow they got the desire and they said the soldiers that go get some betel nuts from there. Betel nuts, this one. So they came and the soldiers were asking in their language, and both of them were conversing in Sanskrit. And they were saying that what to say, in Sanskrit they were saying something and then they were giving that betel nuts. And they were asked that where from all these people are coming like that, they asked. And the soldier said that we were going to debate with one person called as Narottam Das Thakur, right? And all the Brahmanas and all the great people have came and all this thing. So then both of them said that, "Arey, useless people, why they are going uselessly there? If they have so much guts, tell them to come and debate with us. If they debate and defeat us, then let them go," like that. Soldiers become so angry that, what is this? You are like betel nut seller and all. Right? So then somehow they went and told to the Brahmanas and all the people that some betel nut seller, these people, of course they are conversing in Sanskrit, they want to debate first. Said that, what is this? So then this Rup Kaviraj and all the Brahmanas came. Then the king told that, okay, let's have a debate with these people only, let's start here only. So then Ramchandra Kaviraj and Ganganarayan Chakravarti were debating. They are not just pot sellers and betel nut sellers. Right? This is the great souls of great disciples of Narottam Das Thakur and completely defeated. That too, of course, when I was hearing the lecture, Maharaj was saying, in minutes, everything was being powdered to dust. And Rup Kaviraj was feeling so disturbed that I learned so much, so many years of my tapasya as a Brahmana and all. Nothing was working there. Then they said that now, finally, I should take initiation from Narottam Das Thakur. And the king also felt that let's go and take initiation. That's how we can somehow overcome the offense to this great soul, Narottam Das Thakur. And they came and fell at the feet of Narottam Das Thakur. And then all become Vaishnavas. And then this betel nut seller and the pot seller also came in that kirtan. And then they understood that these are not betel nut sellers. These are same great souls, Ramchandra Kaviraj and Ganganarayan Chakravarti. And then there was a huge kirtan happened there of this transformation which happened. And then we see that the end part of the pastime of Narottam Das Thakur, concluding the pastimes, he again entered into that Padma river. And he was taking bath, and at that time he called all his disciples and started saying that, please sprinkle the water of Ganges over my body. And that how he was concluding his pastimes in this material world. Right? And then all the great disciples were putting the water, and they seeing that his body started transforming and his whole skin started becoming white and it started melting. But they were not able to stop. They're seeing that our spiritual master, whole body is melting now. But they were not able to stop because that was the instruction of Narottam Das Thakur, that please keep putting water. So they were putting water. After some time they found that the whole body got melted. And that whole area become a milky kind of thing. So immediately got the vessel, they got that the dugdha, that milk from that place, and they made a samadhi of Narottam Das Thakur. So it's in the Keturi Gram, if you go, today's Narottam Das Thakur's disappearance day. So that dugdha samadhi has been made for Narottam Das Thakur on this auspicious day. In this Kartik month, Narottam Das Thakur choose to close the pastimes. But we see that all these great souls, how they preached Krishna consciousness, keeping that as a limelight. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his followers, so great preachers, how they preached Krishna consciousness to the people, considering the compassion. And it is said that the compassion of Nityananda Prabhu, Narottam Das Thakur took. And he came to Bengal for preaching Krishna consciousness. Right? Nityananda Prabhu's compassion he took and came. The mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and especially the compassion of Nityananda Prabhu, Narottam Das Thakur took for preaching Krishna consciousness. So we can pray on this auspicious day to Sri Narottam Das Thakur that we can also become an instrument and preach the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the great devotees. Sri Narottam Das Thakur Tirobhavati Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Sri Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Kindly forgive 5 minutes here.